Usually during the holidays, we have a significant slowdown in the Phoenix real estate market. But for 2021, during Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, we are not seeing any kind of slowdown. But I wanted to touch base and give you kind of like the synopsis of what's going on in the Phoenix real estate market here in Q4 of 2021. So you can actually make that sound decision, when you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in some real estate. First of all, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas if I don't see you or hear from you in my YouTube channel. But it's unfortunately that many people are still not going to have access to their brand new house for Thanksgiving just because of delays in new construction. Home buyers, we're still not able to get some home buyers under contract just because of the overbidding of properties here in Phoenix. And it saddens me to see that these families can't move into their house for the holidays as they continue to still rent as we get outbidded. So with that being said, I want to wish everybody happy holidays as well. Happy Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to deep dive in this video is all about the Phoenix housing market for November. And it's part of the Q4 of what's going on and what I'm seeing on the streets while I write contracts, get some of my clients under contract, some of my clients not under contract, and helping my sellers as well sell for top dollar. So with that being said, let's go ahead and deep dive right into this video. Obviously, you've heard Zillow has actually canceled all their contracts. They are no longer buying any properties. And many people think that that supply is going to increase. But unfortunately, that is not the case. That is not going to happen because Zillow usually just buys the properties, fix them up. They come to resell them and they put it back as far as inventory. So if you are a buyer looking to purchase a house and you think that the market's going to crash, well, we're not seeing any kind of signs of that happening here in Phoenix, Arizona. So don't be too scared of what's going to happen here in Phoenix. But I kind of want to get into what's happening in November of 2021 comparing to November of 2020, because that's how we do our comparison year after year. So with that being said, let's get into some into the graphs. What's the 401? We're going to talk about all the numbers that you need to know if you're thinking about buying or selling or even investing here in some real estate in Phoenix. So as of today, I checked this number. We have only 6,041 listings for sale. That is actually how many homes you can actually purchase. Now, this is down 9.2% compared to last year of November. This is all Maricopa and Pinal County. So when you're out there searching on your cell phone for some houses, this is actually the amount of homes that you can purchase for sale. Now, some of these homes, they're not in great shape, just to be honest, and they're not in the best location where you're looking to buy. A balanced market is about 30,000 homes for sale. And as you can see, we're sitting at 6,000. Now, homes under contract, you'll see here, let me bring that to the screen. It's 11,822. Now, that is down 8.9%. And like I say, it's kind of a slowdown. We usually see a significant amount of slowdown here in the winter months in Q4 for the holidays. But the funny thing about it is it's not happening here. That is just crazy. That's just crazy that it's not happening. And we have a lot of migration, and I'll touch base on that. The median sales price, it just continues to go up, my friends. I'm sorry to say is we are now at the median sales price of Pinal County and Maricopa County. We are at $416,000. Now, this is up 25.9% from last year. Now, look at that percentage, 25.9%. That is actually better than any stock you can buy. Anything that's out there right now, your rate of return. So if you've been sitting on a house, this is your return on investment, 25.9% since last year. Total monthly closed sales, we had 9,344. That is minus 10.4%. And of course, it goes with inventory, right? When you have more inventory, you're going to have less sales. So, I mean, we don't have that much inventory, so it's getting harder and harder to find a house out there in Pinal and Maricopa County. Now, listing success rate. Now, this is 88.7%. This means that you have a 88.7% chance of selling your house. Okay, and if you're a seller, just be aware that Zillow is no longer buying any homes in Phoenix, Arizona, and across the country. And you got to be careful of these iBuyers because they can back out whenever they want because they are not for the people. They are for profits. I am for the person. I am for the people. I am for you. I am here to discuss any options that you wish to discuss when you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in any type of real estate. Now, one of the things I track the most here is months of supply, 0.8 months. So we are still heavily seller's market. So if you're out there as a seller, you still got leverage on every buyer because we have high demand, low supply. And if you are a buyer, you're still having to put your best foot forward when writing that contract. So just keep that in mind. At 0.8 months, it's still a high seller's market. There we go. We are still a high seller's market. So I'm going to get into some seller bonuses here. I get a lot of questions like, hey, do you think I should sell my house now that Zillow backed out? What's going to happen in 2022? So I'm going to kind of touch on some points here and get into this as well. So we're not seeing any kind of signs of a housing crash in 2022. Okay, we're seeing signs of kind of a slowdown, but it's not a massive slowdown and not a housing crash like back in 2008, 9, and 10 where everything kind of plummeted. Number two, what I'm getting the data is from Crawford Report. So shout out to Tina Tamborn. She's not predicting the real estate market. Okay, the Crawford Report does not predict the real estate market in the future. What it does, it predicts is the prices. So this is very important for me as a listing agent and as a buyer coming in and helping you either sell your house or buy a house or even an investment home, is to kind of know where the prices are fluctuating. Are they continuing to rise? Do I see them flatlining? Do I see them going down? So this is a prediction model of where prices are going, not where the market is going, because the market it's so complicated, right? It goes with the U.S. economy, with everything that's going on with the government programs and everything in the entire U.S., imports, exports. So by the time that changes and the stock market changes in a snap, real estate is kind of like all the ships in the port with all your Christmas presents. It just takes time to maneuver. So we kind of try to look in the future to see what's going to happen with prices. Number three, we are actually ranked the top 10 states for population growth. And let me touch base on this because I think it's very important for me to touch base on this. Is at the open house in my Chandler listing on Zion Way, there was so many people from out of state. We had California, we had Portland, Oregon, we had Washington, New York City, and then we had Colorado. And then we had 2 locals. So what that's telling me is that everybody is migrating here to Phoenix. So we have a massive population growth. And then not only are the locals trying to buy a house, we have people coming in and buying homes cash. That property in Chandler, Zion Way, sold to an all-cash buyer. Okay. So just keep that in mind. As a seller, we still have people coming in buying cash. They are not the iBuyers. There's still some iBuyers here that will do that, but just be careful when you're accepting that contract. Okay. Number 4. Let me type this again. Give me 1 second. Sorry. So currently we're at about 7 to 10% appreciation rate growth per year. Okay, in your house. So if you've owned a house for quite some time, you have some massive equity. So if you were ever thinking about considering on selling and buying or upgrading to a property or downgrading and leaving the States, you are making bank. Okay. I've helped clients sell their first home and their second home, go into new construction. Before that new construction is even built, they've already have over $100,000 of equity, okay, on each new construction. So it's a good thing. It's like, yeah, you're coming back into a seller's market. You're using some of your equity to pay for the down payment, okay, but you got to think about it is you're kind of transferring the same amount of money. Is you're selling to make a profit. You're using some of that money for a down payment and some of the rest of the money to pay for debt or buy a new car, whatever you want to do, new furniture, and then go into the new construction. But your new construction home already has equity in place. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about moving or something. I've had 5 clients do this. Very happy with the move. We did all the math in the whiteboard right here in our office. So if you ever want to discuss your options, just let me know. Some pretty smart moves. Some of them have bought, one person has bought an investment property. Okay, they sold, they went into a new construction and bought a rental property for income. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about selling. Home buyers can afford about 56% of what's on the market right now. So if you're a seller, just know that there's people out there that can afford your house. Okay. Now, this is a good one right here is number 6. We're still seeing some multiple offers, but I remember when I was seeing like 30 multiple offers, 30 offers on a house for one of my clients. And now we're seeing 6, 5, 3, 4. Now it's just because I think we're in the winter months and the holidays is slowing down, but we're not seeing as many offers on properties, just to be honest. So just keep that in mind when you're writing as a seller, when you're receiving your offers. Some buyers, there's not a big pool of buyers as there was in Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay. Now, list prices are trending downward. It doesn't mean that market's crashing. It just means that the public and the market is basically saying, kind of balancing out a little bit. And they're balancing out and saying like, hey, prices are trending down now. We're gonna actually stabilize the market. I want to say stabilize. That's kind of like the wrong word, but people are really, I guess, sellers and buyers are kind of noticing like, hey, we've been overpriced for so long. We need to let this kind of settle, let the dust settle a little bit. So just keep that in mind that you're seeing a lot of price reductions on some homes right now. Not by much, by 1,000 to 5,000. It just depends on the price range. So if you're on the fence to sell, do you think it's the right time going into 2022? But remember, you have to have a game plan when you're thinking about selling, because I don't want to put your house in the market, get you under contract. We have nowhere to go. So we have to make a game plan to see where you want to go first before we even put your house on the market. So just don't let no other agent talk you into selling your house and they don't have a game plan to get you going on where you need to go. So with that being said, that is the seller's portion. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to get into the buyer section right now. All right, my friends. So let's get into the buyer section and let's kind of discuss what's happening in the market. Whether you're thinking about coming, if you're local looking to buy, or you're from out of state. Now, if you're a buyer with only 6,041 homes for sale, being a buyer is really tough right now. It's a tough situation. Is you kind of have to make some kind of quick decisions on what's going on. So just keep that in mind. Is don't feel pressured, but know that you have to make the right decision pretty fast when you're thinking about putting an offer on that property, because usually when you're the first offer, right, there's always going to be somebody else. So like I said, right now in the seller portion of the video is that we're seeing not that many offers as far as amounts, where we're seeing 30 to 20 to 15. We're seeing more in the tens and single digits now. So that's actually a good thing, to be honest. Number 2, is it a good time to buy? Yes. Is it hard as hell? Yes, maybe. It just depends on how you structure your contract. Okay. Remember, you can always structure your contract a little differently with terms and also kind of tap into the price as well. So just keep that in mind as well. Number 3. So this is a prediction from Goldman Sachs. If you're a buyer on the fence, you got to think about this: is home values will rise 14 to 16% in 2022. Okay, this is per Goldman Sachs, and I think Zillow actually predicted this as well. But think about this: if you are going to wait and you're on the fence on buying a house, you're going to miss out on 14 to 16% appreciation in 2022. Now, this doesn't mean that the market's going to crash, and I'm not pressuring you to, hey, you need to jump in the house, but the right mindset is 14 to 16% in return on investment on real estate is ridiculous. And if you've bought in the past, you have seen your equity grow so much in your house. You really need to make a really good decision when you're thinking about buying a house, especially if you're renting. I mean, rent rates have gone up like crazy, and we're going to get into that. So just think about that if you're still on the fence. Number 4, luxury market is still hot. There's not many homes for sale in the luxury market. That Chandler listing that I had was listed for $779. We sold it to an all-cash buyer, and that was in 10 days. So the luxury market is still very, very hot. So if you're coming in from California and Washington and New York and you're gonna buy cash, just know that the luxury market It depends on the location in the area. This one was in Chandler. It is still very, very, very hot. So let's get into buyer bonus number 5. So this is very interesting. Is a lot of people have been asking me like, hey, well, what about new construction? Well, we're still seeing a lot of shortages and delays in the new construction. Permits of new homes have increased about 20.3%, but this will not oversupply the market because we're at 26,910 permits. Okay. And that's not a lot of homes being built. And of course, lumber prices have came down a little bit. But think about how hard it is to get the lumber. And we have a major labor shortage across the United States. And of course, here in Phoenix, Arizona, we have some cement issues as well, is materials for cement. There's a lot of construction on the freeways here. There's a lot of businesses being built. All right. We have TSMC coming in. We have Intel Corporation. So a lot of the cement is being driven into those big corporations. Now, when you're building tract homes, we're having issues with cement, labor, framing, and electric work and AC work. I mean, we just don't have enough labor here to construct all these homes. So we're not going to oversupply the market where we have a crash. Now you got to remember is Zillow backed out of the market. So iBuyers, they don't buy for long-term hold. Okay, what they are doing is Zillow came in and tried buying, fixing, and flipping, something that we do here, and they didn't know the market. They didn't have no boots on the ground, etc., and they failed miserable. So that's why they canceled all the contracts. So you have the opportunity now as a buyer to come in and purchase a home. We have one that is out. We still have a couple iBuyers, but you had the less competition, the better it is for you. Now, it doesn't mean that we're going to oversaturate the market and there's going to be a lot of inventory and a lot of supply because we still have that high demand, but it kind of gives you a little break to get back into the market. This one's huge for me. If you're renting and continue renting, rents have rose, right? And they keep rising, 20.5% increase since last year, folks. And I don't see it slowing down as well as rents continue to rise. Like I've always said it before, Calizona's here. People are moving here. People want to live here. Even if it's hot in the summertime, they probably have some other place to go for about 3 to 4 months, but welcome to Calizona. It is happening in front of our face. So number 9, as a buyer, you have competition. Okay, migration is here. You have a lot of people moving in from California, Washington, D.C., Portland, Oregon, Colorado, New York City. So everybody is leaving those states and coming here, and just keep that in mind. I've been hearing a lot of talk about the foreclosures, and I kind of laugh at this as being an investor myself. Is pre-foreclosures in March of 2009, we had 10,558. I remember getting, it's called a tape, right? An Excel sheet, or it's called a tape of how many properties are for sale an investor would have. And you were able to buy 5 or 6 or 10 properties on that tape. Now, we, in October of 2021, we had 146. So stop with all the mess about the pre-foreclosures, the forbearance programs and everything, because when the market crashed, we had 10,558 pre-foreclosures ready to hit the auction here in Phoenix, Arizona. And in October, we had 146. So you can take it or leave it. Okay. I may be wrong. I'm human. I may be wrong, but I'm putting my, out there. But 146 pre-foreclosures, I can't even buy one of those right now, to be honest with you. There's so much competition right now. It's crazy. Number 11, know the hottest markets, know the hottest cities that are growing, right? So if you're coming down in from a different state, or even if you're local, there's some hot cities out there that you really, really want to buy in to get that appreciation where companies are coming in and building. And especially if it's going to extend your drive 10 to 15 minutes, don't focus on the negative. Focus on the positive of the appreciation that you're going to get, the 12 to 16%, because it's going to pay for itself in the future, and it's going to pay for your family in the future as well. So number 12, the market has not gone cold. It's just easier to navigate for buyers. Our last FHA buyer, it took us 4 offers. We finally got them under contract on the 5th property. Our second conventional buyer, took us 3. We're under contract on the 4th. So we're still, we're playing, is really going to take you about 5 offers to get you under contract. And then let me see what our other conventional offer, I just got them under contract. That was our 3rd offer. So it only took us 2 misses. We got our 3rd offer accepted today. So that's a good thing. And of course, our sellers are selling above list price, and some of them are selling for cash. So just keep that in mind, folks. So once again, you know what? All my information is right there. If you need any kind of services, I'm easy to find online, as well. But so you have to ask your question, like, if I were to sell, where would I go? And is it worth it? Okay. And if as a buyer is like, am I just buying because I want to buy, or where do I want to be at? So if you want the hottest cities, just drop a comment below. I'll let you know where exactly I would buy. Okay, not only as a first-time home buyer, second home buyer, or a rental property, and put my investment cap on and be like, hey, this is what I would do. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just going to let you know. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a great Turkey Day, great holiday, great Christmas. I'm going to push out some more videos before Christmas, but I just wanted to touch base with the Phoenix real estate market, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm not sick, okay? Just been running around. You know how holidays gets. Is like you have people coming to your house and you got to get everything situated. So it's been a little tiring. So with that being said, we'll see you guys on the next video. Have any questions? Email me at victor@freeagentproperties.com. Again, that email address is victor@freeagentproperties.com, where we release new videos each week on home buyer tips, home seller tips, the Phoenix housing market updates, so you can be mindful when you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. We will talk to you soon.